First question is looking at more developed countries, less developed countries, and newly industrialized countries. One thing that we need to be aware of is these acronyms, MDC, LDC, and NICs, because when you see them on the test, that's what you're going to see them as, is these acronyms. First says define each one. A more developed country is a country that is highly industrialized. Most of the workers are in the tertiary to quaternary type of economic activity, probably more in the tertiary, but they're in those higher ends. Your life expectancy in these countries are high, and what I mean by high is like 80s. Your literacy rate is high, like in the upper 95s percentage-wise. Your GDP per capita is high, like above $30,000. Those are things, as well as some other things, that define a more developed country. A less developed country is one that has weak economic growth. Politically and socially, it's not stable. It's marked for its instability. The life expectancy in these countries are really low, like below 40s. Your infant mortality rate is going to be high. Your literacy rate is going to be low, like below, we'll say 65s, or half, 50, somewhere around there, 65 to 50%. Your GDP per capita is going to be extremely low, like below the $1,000 range that they make per year. These are going to be some things that mark a less developed country. A newly industrialized country is a country that, what I like to say, is in between. They may have really high certain statistics and then low other statistics, but a general look at a newly industrialized country, their GDP per capita is going to be somewhere between 1,000 to 20,000, somewhere in that range. Life expectancy is not going to be terrible, 70 to 80s. Your infant mortality rate won't be bad. Those sorts of things are kind of going to be, what I say, in the middle. B, compare the conditions in these types of countries and use real-world examples. The real-world examples themselves, I'm not looking for any specific one, just for you to apply these with them. Now, some conditions that you might want to compare. Number one, the infrastructure in these countries. More developed countries and newly industrialized countries are going to have pretty good infrastructure. Obviously, the more developed countries are going to be better. Newly industrialized countries won't be as advanced. A lot of these systems will be fairly new, meaning they just got them. Less developed countries, you're not going to have a lot of infrastructure. You're not going to have electricity to everybody. You're not going to have running water to everybody. And even in some newly industrialized countries, you're not going to have those things as well. It's just kind of the severity between them. Some real-world examples that I would look at. Number one, the United States in regards to infrastructure, as well as some sanitation. Definitely your more developed countries. Less developed country, maybe Ghana. Ghana, like less than a third of people have clean, running drinking water. Sanitation in the cities is just not there. There's filth in the streets. And then a newly industrialized country, pretty much any country in Latin America that we could think of, would be a good one to look at. For example, Mexico. You have some cities that are highly advanced. You have some cities that look like they're a less developed country. They're just kind of all over the place, and they fit into a lot of different categories, and that kind of puts them in a less developed or in a newly industrialized country. C, compare and contrast labor between these two types of countries using real-world examples. Some things that you might want to look at, and I'm just going to give you a lot. One is salaries, and these are all labor factors. Salaries are going to be high in more developed countries and low in less developed countries. Benefits are going to be high in more developed countries and low in less developed countries. Unionization is going to be high in more developed countries and low in less developed countries. Skills, knowledge, and automation of the workers. Jobs are going to be de-skilled, making them possible for less educated workers, and highly educated workers were overqualified or redundant in some of these different ones. Again, and that's going to be your LDC. Economic imperialism. Labor in LDCs were less likely to change corporate management. They were seen as more pliable and willing to work under severe conditions because maybe the only job available in those less developed countries. And your more developed countries with your skills, you're going to have more of the highly skilled jobs. You're going to have high education, high knowledge, economic imperialism. You're going to have a lot of management jobs, a lot of corporation jobs in your more developed countries versus your less developed countries. Then D, compare and contrast government regulations in all of these countries using real-world examples. Your real-world examples, you can go and plug those in. I'm not going to give those to you. Government regulations, companies sought less regulated and therefore lower cost locations in LDCs for some of the following things. Labor rules, age, youth of the worker, and workday rules are not enforced in the LDCs. The environment, pollution regulations are not enforced. Safety regulations, workplace and highway safety rules are not enforced. Corruption, companies could pay off foreign officials to ignore regulations or negotiate taxes. Trade restrictions, companies could avoid tariffs and other restrictions by using suppliers in favor of LDCs. And kind of your MDCs, you could contrast with that and talk about some of the opposites of how it's more fair, how you have more democratic type of business operations, and more of an equity along these countries. Again, your real-world examples, you can plug those in.